Corsair Cove is dropping on July 31st. And this one's really not trying to be another one of those generic pirate games. It's a city builder first and a pirate fantasy second. And once you get into it, that order actually makes sense. So let's go through everything worth knowing before you decide if it's for you. Now there's one thing to get straight. In this game you're not sailing a ship yourself. You're not swinging a sword. And there's no real-time cannon fight, where you're steering and aiming at the same time. So if you were picturing something like Sea of Thieves, this is not at all what's happening here. And that's not a bad thing either. What you're actually doing most of the time is building a settlement, figuring out how to efficiently move goods around, and keeping a very demanding crew fed, drunk and calm enough not to mutiny. The island you build on isn't flat either, and that changes a lot. There's cliffs and waterfalls, ledges cutting into the rock, and buildings can go right up on those faces, instead of being stuck to some tidy grid. Early on you're mostly laying paths and rope bridges, but later you unlock faster ways to move stuff around, for example zip lines and lifts that go straight up a cliff. If a building technically has everything it needs, but the people carrying supplies have to climb 3 ladders and cross 2 bridges to reach it, then that building is gonna run badly, no matter how good your resources are. So in this game you have to pay attention to more than just do I have enough wood, because here it's more like, is the wood stored close enough? Are there enough people carrying it? Or is one warehouse trying to feed too many things all at once? You can choose which source a building pulls from, so you're not totally at the mercy of the game, figuring out the routes for you. Some things you can't even make at home, grain or wine, or whale blubber for instance. These only come from expeditions or raids out on the wider map, which keeps pulling you back into the naval side of the game, even though you're mostly a builder at heart. Then there's your actual crew, and they get needy real fast. Drifters show up with nothing to do. You assign them as fetchers or builders or workers, and the more advanced they get, the pickier they become. So as always, the higher tier ones start wanting fancier stuff, rather than just bread and drink. And the ships do work in a similar way. You have to pick a captain, fill out a crew, load supplies, and gear everyone up with whatever weapons or equipment the mission needs. Better ships want better sailors, and those sailors are picky in their own way too, wanting nicer things before they are satisfied. Once a ship is actually ready, you send it out onto a much bigger map. This map has islands you can find, crown ships and rival pirates roaming around. There are also forts guarding certain ports. Now when you run into trouble on one of those trips, the combat switches to a turn-based card and dice setup. The enemy shows you what they're about to do, whether that's going after your hull, your crew, or your supplies, and you pick a card back. The dice add some randomness, and there's also a plunder option where you can risk extra damage mid-fight. The combat is decent enough, but it clearly feels built to support the settlement side. And once you get the rhythm down here, gather resources, keep everyone fed, prep a ship, send it out, and deal with whatever quest or fight it runs into. At least so far, it does start to feel like the same loop. Early on that's fine, because there's always a new building or a new problem to sort out. But with multiple camps and ships all needing attention at once, you can see how this might get overwhelming over time. So if you're the type who indeed likes deep supply chains, and watching your messy settlement slowly get less messy, but more functional, I guess Anno fans especially, then this one looks like it's built exactly for you.